Hello, everybody, and welcome to Aisle 4 Cleanup. Today, we're going to be doing a quick tutorial on building a early-ish game mob farm. I usually build this mob farm once I have at least opened the gate to the nether so I can get soul sand and magnet blocks. You'll understand why I do that later. I am far enough along in my world where I have built one, and I wanted to throw a little tutorial so you can see it. Episodes 3 and 4 are me building that mob farm, so I wanted to have that out there. You guys could check it out, watching those whole episodes, kind of seeing how it's done. Excuse me. Or you could just jump over here if you're looking for a quick build on it. So this is a raised mob farm, and what we're going to do is we're going to build it. For me, I like to build it over the sea, so I like to get us a little ways away from shore, and I like to be away from any high mountains. If you are not near a sea, but you still want to build it, the goal is to avoid high mountains. You want to go high enough, so find maybe like flatlands. You definitely want to go high enough to take any caves out of play while you're up in the mob farm and shooting for the mobs. This is not an AFK farm. It is an XP farm as well as items farms from the mobs. We're going to get spiders, creepers, zombies, skeletons, witches, and sometimes zombie villagers. So you get quite a bit out of it. It's a good place. It's a good little farm that I really like to use. There's other farms. You can build them down low. They're not going to be as efficient. I like this one because I can build it high up in the sky, throw a couple water elevators in there, get built up, and throw my enchanting room up there. So when I'm up there, I can be gathering items and goods, but I can also be getting XP and then using that at the enchanting table right there. Again, this is early-ish game, so we don't have a whole lot. I use all cobble to do this and maybe some wood slabs. You need some hoppers, so you will have, gotten some iron by this point. You just need 9 hoppers, and then you need a single chest, barrels, whatever you want to do to store the goods. You're going to get a lot of them using this farm, so I like to have quite a few chests around the area. Sometimes when it's early-ish game, I have the single double chest coming off the hoppers where I'm killing the enemies, and then what I do is I just take it and put it in chests behind me, manually sort it. You can also, if you know what you're doing, build an auto sorter for it, or just have it feed down into multiple chests, and then that way you have to worry about it a little bit less as you're gathering stuff. So what I do is I usually build a walkway off of the island or the land where I'm at, or a post coming up off of the bottom, and I build a square 5x5. This is where I'm going to start with my tower. And then what I do off this 5x5 square, I usually have this thing running up here all the way over to land, is I'll make it just one extra block big so that I can walk around what I'm building. So, yeah, that would make it 6x6. But the area that you really need, and the only area that you need, is 5x5. It's good at this point to have some ladders or to have some bamboo. That would be not bad situation at all. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at where you're at. So I'm going to take a quick peek. I'm looking at block 62. I want to go up to 198. So I want to go 128 above that, or 192. I'm sorry, 192, because I want to go that 128 blocks above that. So another reason I like to do it over the sea is jumping off makes it a lot easier. But if you can't do it over the sea and you are on land, make yourself a nice little puddle around the outside so you can jump down when you need to. So let's go ahead and build this up. Let me show you real quick what it's going to look like at the bottom before we build this up. So we're going to go across the 5 that I talked about. We're going to come out 2 on each side and 2 in the middle. So that is where your bubble elevators are going to be. You're going to have one there and one there. And then you're going to build this, not that there, build this here. And there you have your base column for what you're looking at. So if we take a look at that, you've got your 2 doors. You're going to put signs in there to hold the water in when we get to that point. If you've got the signs now, you can put them in now. Let's go ahead and do that since we're down here. So you just take your sign, boom, 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 boom. One is down and one is up. As far as the down elevator, we're going to make a bubble column, and then we're going to have a magnet block underneath that can pull you down. But it's just as easy to make the down elevator just a hole with water in it and just jump straight down. All right, so let's get back to doing what we were doing, and we're going to go up to 192. One thing about this that you'll find is that the clouds can sometimes get in the way. I think there is a way to turn the clouds off. Yeah, just like that. So you can go into your video settings and turn your clouds off. And then while you're doing this, they're not going to be in your way. Okay, so there we have now gotten to 192. And then, we fall off. Be careful not to fall off without being over the water. It's not so good. Okay, so there we have 192. So this is where we're going to build from, but we're going to build all those up to this point now. This is also why it's a good time at this point to have ladders to get back and up and down here if you don't have your water ready yet. But when you are ready to go down, you just look out over the water, you jump out, you land in the water, you live. It's no big deal. Yay! I didn't die. Okay, so now we're going to finish off the other portions. I'm just going to cut away real quick. I'm going to finish all the way around here, all the way up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got 2 water elevators, and we've got a tower built up. We've got the water elevators are not bubble elevators yet. So if you don't have a good breathing helmet, you could drown trying to use this elevator at this time. You can always jump off and go down, though, and take care of it that way. So once I get up to the top here, and I finished my last one and poured my last bucket, I like to now go to half slabs. I'm doing top half slabs, and that's 5 across. We're still at 5 across. And I go out another, what do I go out? 5 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, and then we'll go up 5 more. I like to build my platform up here 15 by 15. 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Gives me a nice big space to work with while I'm up here. And let me get this filled in, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We now have our 15 by 15 platform, so we have a really good place to start. So we're going to get to the center of this thing. So it's easy because we know that it's 15, and this is the middle, and we just want to go out to the 8th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll put a marker there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the center. So from here, now we're already 128 blocks above where we started. We are going to go up an additional amount of space where the mobs are going to spawn, which gives you even further away from other things that could be spawning. So the easiest way to do this to get started is say, okay, this is my centerpiece. Where do I want my chest? I want it in the back, I want it on the side. And you can make this platform, you can add walls and glass and wood and anything that you want to later on. So right now we're just building the base of this. So usually I like my chest on this side. I don't know why, but I go 2 off the center, and then I take my hopper, boom. Then I get rid of that center block, 2, 3, and I'm feeding those hoppers, you can see, into this hopper, feeding it into there, feeding into there, and then feeding in there. As long as they feed all towards the chest, you're good to go. Okay, so now comes the part that's going to keep you alive and allow you to gather the XP. So I'm going to put slabs on top of these. These are where the mobs are going to fall. And what I used for slabs up here were top slabs. It saves me resources, but you do have to remember to torch up. All right, so we're going to go a little bit bigger, like this. So in the end, it should be 5 by 5. You see I can stope my chest because I'm using slabs. Now here you're going to have to get a little bit creative, either bamboo scaffolding if you have it, or ladders. And we have to get started on here. So what are we going to go right here? Boom. There's your spacing already. Okay, so what we've done is around the edges of this, we've put blocks. It automatically is going to space because there's slabs. So now I have a place where I can get in there. And of course, you can leave one block out so you can get in and out. You know, it's going to be needed. You might need to build you a little bit of stairways there. But from this slab, we're going to go up 21 blocks. So the slab is 1 and this next block is 2. And we're going to start from there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So now we're 21. Mobs will die for the most part, falling 23. Gives them a little bit of buffer, but you still get to one-hit them when they drop down to the bottom. So that's kind of what we're looking for up here. So let's go ahead. I'll be right back. Let me get all these put up here real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and we are finished completing our 21 block high drop chamber, which is 3 by 3 on the inside. Now from here, we're going to go out a total of 9 blocks, 8 blocks for the water flow, the 9th block for the wall. You can use top half slabs to go out. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the wall. Okay. And then we come back here and we fill this in. The only thing that you have to know here is that water will obviously saturate slabs, and you don't want that. So on the 8th block, we put a full slab. Then this is just saving you resources. If you've got full blocks, and you can use the heck out of them, use the heck out of them. If you don't, there you go. So then we put our wall back here because this is where our water is going to flow. Again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, into the water. You're going to build your walls here on the side of this. Okay, so you've got your first drop, and you're going to do that on all 4 sides. So I'll be right back. Let me get that done. Okay, we are back. We have our 4 feeders. Now, at this point, you could just build a big shell all the way around this, and you've got 4 platforms. You could have one here, one there, and one there. Waterways running down here, and it would push in. Or you can make it bigger. I generally make it a bit bigger. So we are going to start by making these walls bigger. Because this is where the second layer is going to go. And it's going to go back another 8. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, remember, full blocks for number 8 where you're going to put the water. So two full blocks back here. The rest can be half slabs, saving you some resources once again. Okay, so now we've got another flowing system. The deal is we want this to go all the way up because we're going to make a platform. So on this level, they're going to drop 2. On this level, they're going to drop 3. Because we're going to make these walls all the same height. Make it easier on ourselves. Okay, so there we go. So we now have this one shooting out this way. Our water is going to flow from here, and they're going to drop off of the panels. Actually, I may change this up. Usually what I do is I make this one 2 high and this one 3 high. This is the way that I do it. So I found this particular farm. I was watching Button stream, and I saw him making this farm. I kind of watched it, and I thought, all right, we can do that. So that is where I took it, and then I just kind of made it my own way. Obviously, there's many different ways to do these things. So this is just one of them, and there we go. So then we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. Let me get these done all the way around, and then we'll start building the platforms, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We have all the waterways strung up and ready to go. We're going to start building our platforms now. Again, top slabs, save resources, and give you a spawning area still. Don't want to bottom slab it. Okay, so now we have our first landing platform is here at this level. So now, what are you looking at? So the mobs will spawn in here. There will be trapdoors here that they will think are full blocks, and there will be closed trapdoors, and they will fall in. We'll go over that in a little while later. But we need to enclose this room for them as well. So this is where we even all this out by putting up our wall around here. I'm a sucker for some corners, so I go all the way out like that. Again, remember as you're going through this to spawn proof it. I am not because I'm in creative mode, but light it up as you go. It's going to be very important. Okay, so then there is the top floor as well. So let's go ahead, and in the corners of these ones, you're going to actually need to have the full block in there, although the other corners of the other waterways I did not, and we fill these in. Look at them down there spawning, thinking that there's somebody. Like I said, if you're not lighting it up, they will be spawning. Okay, so now we've got... Oh, I missed some. If this one looks a little bit bigger, remember the outside is going to be a wall. It's got to at least be 2 high, right? So this is what we're going to do right here. We're going to take care of this. And then obviously we're going to build some more over there, and we're going to build this up. So what do we got on our lower platform? We've got 2 access ways to get in. On our upper platform, we're going to end up with just 1 access way to get in because they don't have a waterway. The bottom platforms have 2 waterways. The top platforms are only going to have 1. So we are going to do like this, going across. Right? Like that. And then bottom slab it in. Actually, I don't even do this. Usually what I do at this point is I bottom slab it in so there's no spawns. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to this part a little bit later. Let's get this other part done first. All right. So let me do these other 4 platforms, and we will get those knocked out and see what we got going on. Be right back. Okay, there we go. We now have our platforms with our initial walls started so that everything can start spawning, and once we put our roofs on and do all of that. Now remember, we're going to wall up this part right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put bottom slabs here, right? So in order to do that the best, we just go like this. This is how we get our inside walls for our top. Okay? And then we're going to build our roof simple. Bottom slabs, because we don't want them spawning on the top. You might say, well, what about those other slabs, those other blocks you put up there? All that's going to get covered eventually with bottom slabs, because those walls need to be taller anyway. All right, so that is what these floors are going to look like for covering. So you've got your bottom slabs up there to protect them. These guys up on these upper spawning platforms cannot fall down onto those ones. They can only go into the waterway. Obviously, these are all going to be regular blocks along here. So it's going to go like that, and that is what that is going to look like. Right? So we're only blocking them off so they don't fall onto the other platforms. But we don't want to take away one of their spawn spaces, the trapdoor spaces, so we're putting them out like that. One off. And then one more. Two more, I think. The last side. Okay, so now what we've successfully done is we've put the walls up to this height that we've needed so far to be able to then roof this off, right? So we continue to put the roofs, the ceilings, the bottom slabs in. Actually, I use full slabs coming across here like this. Now, you're going to be doing a lot of hopping around if you're in a survival world, like I just did in my episode. Okay, so we're going to finish this off and the roof here, and then we're going to start on raising our walls over here. While we're down here, let's do this. Let's use oak trap doors. Pretend we got a bunch of oak trap doors. You're going to need 128 trap doors, because you need 64 for the bottom, 64 for the top. I would also recommend, since you've already done the bottom part, that as you're finishing up the top part, that you put your waterways in before you head down, head down to the head off to the end, and finish on top. Right? So finish on top. That way you can jump off into your water source. You don't have to try to jump down into the mobs that will definitely be forming, because you're also, as you're putting this bottom roof on before you finish off the top one, you are taking out your torches. And except for the roof here in the middle, the first level of spawning is finished at this point. There we go. So those pieces are done. We have to finish in the roof here, and then we have to finish our walls and roof for the back, and we are ready to go. All right, let me get these ceiling finished in, and then we'll start on the walls. I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, here we go. We are running to finish this top half now. So we've got our bottom half. Let's go back over that real quick. We've come up our 21 blocks. We've built our pathways 8 back with the water starting on the wall, which is the 9th square. We have our trap doors in. Looking good down here. We have our bottom slabs as ceilings, top slabs as floors, and now we're going to do the top. All right, so again, we have to get everything up too so that they've got the room to spawn. So we're going to put these walls around here. Yeah, this is going to look good. We're going to get lots of mobbies. Right now, I've changed the world to peaceful so I could just get this done and show you guys. I think I do better when I'm on the ground instead of just flying and floating. All right, here we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our trapdoors in, our water sources, and then we're going to set this with bottom slabs as the roof, as the ceiling as well. Roof, ceiling, both sides, either way you look at it. All right, don't fall off like that because that is no good. And if you're in the real world and there's no water below you, you're dead. This works in creative, it works in hardcore, and it works in normal survival. Currently, the one that from my video that if you watched the video earlier, that one is done in a hardcore survival world. You definitely do not want to fall in a hardcore survival world. That's just the end of you. Gone. Gone like a John, if I can say so. All right. Got this part around here. All right, our edge walls are done. Now there's just our inner walls to keep them from falling on the rest. And then what's going to happen, I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to start putting in the top, and I'll cut back after that is done. So what you're going to have on the top here is a perfectly protected ceiling that you don't need to light up. So you save on that resource of torches. And then once you can fly, you can land on the roof. You may need to climb back in at some point to make some kind of changes. The roof is definitely the place to go through. Trying to come up through the bottom is probably going to get you killed. There's going to be a lot of mobs in here. We are not going to cover this middle section. Those are bottom slabs, so there's no spawning. We're going to put bottom slabs on top of everything here. And let's give you a quick show of how that will go. We'll start them on the edges. This one I will fly for. And we're going to come across like this. And then everything that is a slab up here, plus all the openings, are going to get these bottom slabs. That's going to go all the way across the top. In the meantime, you guys have already seen me do this once. I'm going to put the trapdoors here, the water here, then I'm going to fly up and finish putting this roof on, and then I will be back. All right. All right, and we are back. As you can see, here's an example of the back one. We've done them all. We've put in the trapdoors. We put on our water sources all the way around. We have put our covers of our bottom slabs across everything all the way around. All we have to do now is close this off, and this thing is ready to go. Let's get these last few blocks in place. Get down to the main level. Get ready to call in some mobby mobs. All right, and boom, that is it. Okay, so now we're going to come down to here. We are going to light this up real quick. Let me see here. Let's get some torches, just so we have it lit up. Don't need trapdoors anymore. Okay, let's torch this bad boy up. Put some on the inside as well. You want nothing spawning up here. You can never go too many. You could end up putting carpet up here. And that way nothing can spawn here, and that's all right as well. None of the mobs that you're going to be fighting spawn here anyway. So you are good to go. Let's get us a sword. All right, we're going to get us a nice diamond sword. Okay, like I said also at this point, you can decorate this any way that you want to. I like to take another platform and go another 16 back here. So 16 by, right now we're 15 by 15. So I go back another 15 or 16 blocks and across, and then fill it all in. And that gives me a nice platform. I can build walls around, put my enchanting tables. I like to put things like furnaces and storage chests because you'll get gold plates. I like to have a grindstone and an anvil. I mean, that's pretty much everything that you're going to want up here in the end to make life easy on you. So you want to be able to melt down the gold plates, maybe even the steel plates for the steel nuggets and the gold nuggets. Who knows? So let's go ahead and change this setting back from peaceful. Options, difficulty, we'll put it on normal. Most people are playing on normal. Back to game. And we will give it a few minutes and let this thing get running. First sucker in the chute, couple of them. All right, and then they start falling. Basically, all that you have to do at this point is run around the bottom, whack them, one whack them, because they've already fallen 21 blocks. The last piece that is needed are the elevators, the up elevator and the down elevator. Now listen, at this point, you may not have something like respiration on your helmet, so you may not be able to breathe as long. Okay, I'm going to do one bubble elevator on one side. The other side, I'm going to take out completely and ride the sinking water down. The reason that I'm going to do that is I don't necessarily feel like I need a down elevator. Falling is just as fast, if not faster. And in a place like this, especially when you're out over an ocean or even not over an ocean, once you've dug a hole in the ground for the water, you're good to go. So you come out here, take this guy out. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I use. Boom, I like that. Wait for the water to finish falling. Wait for all the fish to die or kill them off. Your choice. Get them out of the way. And then boom, water source right there. Now you can fall straight down right in that water source and never die. Straight down into water source, never die. Trust me. It's the truth. That way you're good to go. Now, the up elevator. All right, so here's your key. You're going to need kelp, and if you don't have respiration, you're going to need some signs with you because you're going to have to stop along the way and press the sign to get your oxygen back, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to kelp all the way up, right? Okay, so let's say you're rolling up. You start running out of breath. Breath is running out. What am I going to do? I don't have any breath. Swim up just a little bit. Place yourself a sign. Boom. You got air. Woo! Sign is out. Kelp all the way up. The reason that you're putting your kelp all the way up is to make every block a source block. You can ride a water elevator without making it a source block, but you can't breathe and you can't use it as a bubble elevator. All right, so now the kelp is all the way up, right? All right, so you're good to go. Now we need to go back down, and we're going to take the kelp down and replace the block underneath the kelp, the very bottom kelp, with soul sand. Soul sand is what gives you the up bubbles. So remember we put that bucket of water down on this side so when we fall, and I said, trust me, boom. Here we go. We're falling, we're falling, we're falling, we're falling. Slam, right into the water. Good to go. And look at that. I didn't even need to ride it down, and that's about as fast as you can get. So first thing we do is we take that out. Take out that block there and put in the soul sand. Boom, we've got in the bubble elevator. We don't have to worry about breathing. Oxygen is provided, and we are shooting our way up. Only thing faster than this is when you get your elytra after you fought in the end, and you can just fly up. All right, there we go. I hope you liked it. I hope it was informative. Obviously, my first tutorial, they'll continue to get better, and we will go from there. All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. We're going to jump on out of here now.